Can a betrayal you experience at age 12 affect you until you're 82? Yes, it can. I grew up as a child accused by my closest friend. Even in my marriage, I couldn't fully trust my wife. There were moments when I looked at my children with suspicion. Tonight I'm going to tell you how a childhood betrayal can ruin a lifetime. My name is Thomas Wilson. I'm 82 years old, a retired blacksmith. I was born and raised in one of the old neighborhoods of Chicago. Apparently, I lived a normal life. I got married, had children, was successful in my profession. But there was always a wound inside me. A betrayal I experienced 70 years ago never left me. Because of this wound, I could never fully trust anyone throughout my life. Tonight I'm telling this story because I'm old now. Maybe this is my last chance. I want other children to learn from this experience. In 1947, when I was 5 years old, I met Michael. We lived on the same street. He was also my age. From the first day we became very close. We played together every day, shared everything. Our mothers would say they're like twin brothers. Michael was a very smart child. His speech and behavior made him seem older than his age. I admired this quality of his. For 7 years we were closest friends. We sat next to each other at school, played together during recess, did our homework together. Our house was more modest. My father ran a small blacksmith shop. My mother was a housewife. Our financial situation was average. Michael's family was better off. His father was a merchant, earned more. Their house was bigger than ours. Their belongings were nicer. But we children didn't care much about these differences. Our friendship wasn't affected by them. Michael would sometimes bring me toys. I got it from my dad, he'd say. I would be very happy. Looking back now, there were some warning signs. But I was a child then. I couldn't understand. Michael would sometimes lie. Small lies, seemingly harmless. But a lie was a lie. When playing with other children, he would provoke them, start fights. Then he would look innocent. Once he had thrown stones at neighbor Mrs. Johnson's chicken, but he blamed me. Thomas did it, he said. Fortunately, no one believed it. My father's blacksmith shop was known in the neighborhood. He was an honest man, got along well with everyone. Behind the shop there was a small safe. My father would put his daily earnings there. It was an old model, simple safe. Michael would sometimes visit the shop. My father loved him very much. What a smart child, he would say. I would listen proudly to my father praising Michael. It was nice that my father also loved my closest friend. September 15th, 1954, Wednesday. I can never forget this date, the turning point of my life. When we got out of school, Michael said, "Let's go to your shop." We often went, it seemed normal. When we arrived at the shop, my father wasn't there. "Let's go in, let's see if there are any toys," Michael said. Looking back, everything was planned. He knew when my father would go out. While in the shop, Michael said, "Let's look at that safe. Can it be opened?" I said, "No, it's my father's safe." But he insisted. Michael knew how to open the safe. I later realized he had opened it before, had planned it. He took money from the safe. "I'll just take a little," he said. "Your father won't notice." I was very scared. "Put it back," I pleaded. But he didn't listen. He took the money, closed the safe. "You're guilty now too," he said. We both took it together. At that moment I was very confused. How could I be guilty? I didn't want to take it. But Michael said, "You were here too. You saw it too. No one will believe you." Going home, I was very scared. Would my father notice? What would happen? Michael was very calm, as if nothing had happened. This coldness scared me even more. When my father came home that evening, he was very gloomy. My mother asked, "What happened?" "Money is missing from the safe." My father said, $30 is gone. At that time, $30 was a lot of money. A third of our daily earnings. My father counted the money very carefully every day. No shortage ever escaped his notice. The next day, Michael came to our house. "Thomas's father is looking for the money from the safe," he told my mother. Then he turned to me. You didn't tell, did you? I was confused. What would I tell? Saying you took it was hard. He was my closest friend. But there was a dangerous light in Michael's eyes, as if saying, don't you dare blame me. On the third day, everything ended. Michael had told his mother the truth. Michael's mother came to our house. Thomas stole money from the safe, she said. I was shocked. I didn't take it, ma'am, I said. But no one believed me. Michael was very convincing. I tried to stop him, but he didn't listen. He was saying, I can never forget the expression on my father's face. Disappointment, anger, sadness, all together. Did you take it, son? He asked. I couldn't bear the pain in his voice. I didn't take it, Dad, I said, but it didn't seem so convincing. My mother was crying. How could you do such a thing? She was saying. My father punished me. I couldn't go out for a week. Meeting with Michael was forbidden, but the real punishment was psychological. My family now looked at me differently. Trust was shaken. In the neighborhood too, it was being talked about. Thomas the child stole money. Gossip was being made. Michael was happy with this situation. He was now the neighborhood's trustworthy child. A month later, the truth came out. Neighbor Mrs. Johnson had seen Michael. That day, passing by the shop, she had seen Michael rummaging through the safe. But since she wasn't sure, she hadn't said anything. Later, talking with neighbors, Michael's other mischief also came to light. Mrs. Johnson came to my father and told the truth. When my father learned, he got very angry. He went to Michael's house, demanded an account. Michael tried to lie again, but this time it didn't work. Finally, he confessed. My father apologized to me. I was unfair to you, son, he said, but that apology couldn't close the wound. A lot had changed during that 1 month. During that 1 month, I had learned many things. Even the closest people can betray. Being innocent is not enough, you must prove it. Once trust is shaken, it never fully returns. People easily believe lies. At 12 years old, these lessons were very heavy. After the truth came out, my friendship with Michael ended. He didn't apologize to me, as if nothing had happened. Sometimes he would even say, "You're guilty too, you were there too." This reaction hurt me even more. He wasn't even sorry. Things changed at school too. I couldn't get close to anyone anymore. When other children wanted to be friends, I looked at them with suspicion. I wonder if they'll betray me too, I would think. I learned to spend time alone. I started reading books. This betrayal also affected my youth years. During high school, I had trouble joining friend groups. I was afraid to share secrets. They'll use this later, I would think. I even had trust problems with my first girlfriend. At 25, I married Linda. She was a very good girl. She loved me. But even in marriage, I couldn't fully trust. I was constantly suspicious. When Linda came home late, I would ask, "Where were you?" When she talked to other men, I would have jealousy attacks. When I had children, I couldn't fully trust them either. When they got in trouble at school, I would think, are they lying? I was very interfering in their choice of friends. There was fear of bad friends. This situation also affected my children. I'm an overprotective father. While working as a blacksmith, I wouldn't accept partnership offers. They'll cheat me later, I was afraid. I preferred to work alone. It was safer. Because of this, I earned less, maybe, but I was at peace. I'm also distant in neighborhood relations. I don't get too close to neighbors. Very careful about giving secrets. I don't participate in social activities. I feel uncomfortable in crowds. I constantly question people's real intentions. In my 40s, I realized this situation wasn't normal. I went to a doctor, got psychological help. The doctor said childhood trauma. You have trust issues. I got treatment, but there was no complete recovery. Improvement was limited. When my children grew up, I talked to them about this subject. "Dad, why do you always suspect?" they would ask. I told them about the Michael incident. They understood but were sad. "Don't you trust us?" They would be hurt. Now I have grandchildren. I always tell them, Be careful in choosing friends. Don't trust everyone. But don't be too closed either. Balance is important. I don't want them to experience the same pain. I followed Michael's life from afar. He got married, had children, but he never changed. In his work life too, he cheated other people. He made a reputation for this. Last I heard, he was sick. No one was by his side. People say forgive, you'll be relieved. But forgiving isn't easy. A 70-year wound closing isn't easy. I'm not angry at Michael anymore, but the trust issue continues. This trauma has become part of my personality. I tell young people, be careful in choosing friends, but don't be paranoid. After the first betrayal, don't blame everyone. Get psychological help. It's very beneficial. My wife Linda was very patient. She understood my trust problem. I slowly learned to trust her. Not completely, but somewhat. I also started trusting my children more as they grew up. But I could never be as spontaneous as before. I'm 82 years old now. Looking back, that betrayal affected my life a lot. Maybe I was too affected. But in those days there was no guidance, no psychological support. I tried to cope with this trauma with a child's mind. Not because I'm not sorry, but that experience also strengthened me. I learned to be careful. I'm not easily deceived. I know the value of true friendship. I have few but deep relationships. I address today's children. If you experience such a thing, never blame yourself. Talk to your elders. Ask for help. One friend's betrayal is not a reason to blame all humanity. I'm telling this story at 82 years old. Maybe so other children won't experience the same pain. Childhood betrayals open very deep wounds, but healing is possible. Don't hesitate to get support. Most importantly, don't hate everyone because of what one person did. There are good people in the world too. Try to find them.